Hey, welcome back for another entry in building my print farm from scratch. So, updates. I haven't gotten much. Been busy doing my real job, but I did model some risers. I based them off of the filament stands that typically come with 3D printers. I added feet going each way on there, about the same measurement as that. I tried looking at several websites to see how price wise. I looked at SynCutSend. Maybe it was operator error, but the price I saw for aluminum, it was aluminum CNC'd. Maybe they do sheet metal, but yeah, CNC'd aluminum was it was cost prohibitive. So I went over to PCB Way, and they had sheet metal bending aluminum, and for six of these stands, probably non-coated, just bare aluminum, would probably run me about, I bet with shipping, maybe about $60. I didn't. It was about 45, and I hadn't checked shipping. It was good enough for me to be happy with it and move on until I could come back to actually fund that. Changed Houston to a PEI bed. I'm working on a model with 31 right now. I was working on a sewing machine stand for my mother. Sewing machine cell phone stand off of Maker World for my mother, and I did a little customizing on it. I did emboss some things on it, but the model's not working out quite that well dealing with the mesh, so I'm gonna have to deal with that. But what am I doing today? To kind of mix things up a bit, I've collected some comments, just doing research on running a 3D print business, because my ultimate goal is to have a 3D print business that is profitable enough so that I can have my own maker space. I just want, I don't know, we're gonna try my best to a little house. Let's do a chimney. That's all my exhaust or my off gassing from doing ASA. I'm getting ASA poisoning in that house. That's my dream. Yeah, I just want a little maker space. My own little maker space that's funded on my property that I can do all my wacky ideas on. So I'm doing a little research for that, and I've dove into the treasure trove of knowledge that is Reddit, and I'm just gonna read some comments that I found that I thought they had value. So, not really gonna go into the thread, but just I don't know. Do I read? I'm just gonna read the comment. So this one person commented, I started with I want to print stuff. Then it went to I want to make stuff to print. Then it went to I want to make stuff for others to print. Then it went to I bet I could sell this stuff. I have over half dozen listings on Etsy right now. Every one of them I created myself using FreeCAD. Creating your own stuff makes it easier to make your thing, even if it isn't original, more unique. So that it stands out. If your stuff isn't unique, then you better advertise it better photos, etc. Photos, videos, etc. Which, so just to write stuff on the board. print stuff. I want to print for others, which I don't know about you. I don't know about you guys. I can make money. I honestly really get excited when I have somebody come to me and like, can you print this for me? And want to know a way to take the wind out of my sails real quick is, yeah, man, what color, what material, this, and that. Oh, I don't care. Just print it for me. So I know I'm gonna, when things get rolling, I'm gonna run into that, and I just have to jog through it. This guy says, I'll save that for the last one. This last one will be really good. I ran a 3D printing service for 10 years and sold it in December of 2023. My full story here. Yeah, he's got a blog, 3D Print Boss. Here's what I can say. It took me too much time to understand this, but better late than never. The 3D printing business is, first of all, a business, with 3D printing being just a tool and not the most important and big part of the overall puzzle. Kind of goes into what I was just talking about. Most revelations I've had when I decided to sell my business and ended up in a year-long transition period are all it is in my story. Okay, it's in his story. Go to 3DP Boss if you want to learn his story. General things aside, it is a good business if you like to do it. Have a unique angle. You read so much of, you need to have an angle, you need to have a niche. I'm looking on the outside in right now, but I'm having the attitude of, once I have my stuff up and running, just getting into it, just do it. I've a little background on me. I'm college educated. I'm college educated and not with an underwater basket weaving degree. I've done manual labor jobs. I've done technical labor jobs. I'm currently doing a rather mundane construction job, but yeah, man, the whole like niche and finding your way. I've always just done life of getting into things, and I don't know, ride by the seat of my pants, and we'll see what happens. And that's how I'm gonna do this, with the whole finding my niche and my place. But I am gonna try to educate myself a little bit to guide it along. Have stable marketing channels, sites, and ad campaigns in my case. We don't know what this guy sells, so once we get to the later comment that I'm saving, I'm really thinking this heavy emphasis on advertising is very subject to what you're selling. If I'm selling slinky dragons or whatever, yeah, I'd need to advertise a lot. Having a sales module, CRM, sales reps, some kind of systems. Can't argue with that. Systems are always a good thing, no matter what you're doing. Have established production with a management system in place. This guy ran it for 10 years, so yeah, he's big time. He's probably yeah, this guy's did it as an income. That's that'd be nice, but that's not really what we're going for. So it's a good systemic business with all of its components in place. It is a good 3D printing business. More on enjoyment. I don't joke or exaggerate when I say that it is the most important thing. At least it was for me. I really liked it despite that it was hard and very time consuming, occasionally work life disbalance. Now I'm pursuing an online business, and I kind of miss 3D printing, making tangible, real things. Man, that's really something about 3D printing that I love, is that you can make anything. Do you like my third grade handwriting? I do too. What else we got? Oh, I really liked this one. Just because the idea that, you know, getting into things and just doing it, you never know where you're gonna land, man. Just try to just try to land feet first. And this guy, I primarily do professional laser scanning and engineering. I'm a professional engineer. But the weirdest print thing I make is tall lights for 1960s Mopars. Also do hatches for vintage Sea-Doo jet boats, and of course full-scale mock-ups of billet parts. Sent a sample Hydro Boost assembly to Washington State for test fit on a 1960s Rolls Royce. Also offer a mail-in scanning and engineering service. You can learn about it on my website. Plug. Last year I did about 35K, sitting at 140% of my revenue last year. This year. Since this is about printing, though, check out my store for taillights. Scanning and engineering services aren't hard to find if you're curious. And I'm and you posted a picture of his scanner. This stuff is so wide and varied, and that's one thing that really attracts me. Is there I saw what YouTuber was that? He made a video recently saying he's kind of walking back from 3D printing and doing more laser engraving and stuff like that. And that's just the way things go sometimes. I'm definitely in my profession, I didn't get out of high school thinking I was going to do my profession. I'd probably be better off if I did, but hey, that's what I'm doing now. Okay. Oh, this is a good one because it's kind of a bad bad timing. And it's really makes me wonder about all these people that are 3D printing rainbow slinky dog dragons. What's gonna happen? We walk the easy, no-brainer way with getting a working business, improving what is not to our liking, and selling the better product. Well, we didn't move fast nor far. We now sit on around 1,000 of Zo 3D figures. I'm guessing that's a Patreon thing. Have 70 plus chess collections and 70 sculptures that we posted on Patreon, printables and such. We have 2 P1Ss and get around 100 euros per month, which is pretty much nothing compared to the investment we put into the printers and ads. I will not post the links to our site here since I don't want to spam. If you're interested, yada yada. To be honest, I thought that it would be easier to get started, but in my opinion, the best way is to get someone that has a biz to buy something from you. Yeah. Fix a problem for them, and they should spread the news that you can do such things. This is our next approach with generating QR codes and selling keychains with that 3D printed QR code. We will see how far we will go with that, but to be clear, selling to normal people is a pain in the butt. Yeah. So on with that goes in very well into this guy. So I'm just going to write. I hope you can appreciate the Trying to not show myself is quite a task. All right, ready? Okay. So operator answers with real numbers because the thread is full of I make a little and I do it full time without much in between. Stages I have actually watched real solo shops move through, including my own and 3 peers I trade notes with. So, he's saying it in months, but year 1, $1,000 per month. Consumer side, Etsy planters, local pickup gift boxes, dog ID tags, minifigures. Conversion is the bottleneck, not throughput. Most businesses stall here forever. The reason is not the printer, it is the consumer. FDM at hobby scale does not price to a salary. The unit economics are $4 to $15 per item with 30 to 50% margin after material, electricity, platform fees. And you need 200 to 400 units a month just to clear 2K. You can do it, but you are a retail business that happens to use a printer, not a print business. When I read that the first time, I was like, okay, this guy really seems to be on to something. So first year is basically what we're seeing of a lot of these 3D printing businesses starting out, that they're hitting these fairs and stuff like that, and definitely not knocking them. They're doing more than I am currently, but that's in this $1,000 range, you know. And if you're someone, I mean, $1,000 extra, I mean that's revenue. So I'm gonna give a ballpark and say like maybe 500 to 600 based off of I thought of it in a dream in profit. It's a little bit of money, but probably a lot of work for an extra 500 to 600. You're probably still in the range of like, hey man, you could, if possible, you could probably pick up extra shifts and make that money. So year 2, which was our 2K to 5K per month. This is where the business to business pivot happens or the shop dies. Fixtures, jigs, replacement parts for local light industrial, dental aligners. If you stumble into a clinic relationship, prop houses, tabletop game stores, doing custom terrain runs, margin per part jumps from 30 to 50% to 60 to 80%. Because the buyer is not comparison shopping against AliExpress. Throughput stops being the constraint. Customer acquisition becomes the constraint, and the printer just has to not break during the run. So this is, when I read this is like, okay, that's where I need to be. That's my goal. I want, if I could do 2K a month with business to business, let's see, we'll say individual, do INDB, individual, B2B, doing business to business, that's our goal. That's our goal, to get the maker space. Get the maker space, to do all the fun things that we want to do and our little heart's desire. You know, we're George and Lenny sitting in front of that stream. You know, get rabbits, George. And hopefully the U.S. government isn't coming to put a pistol to the back of my head. So we'll say year 3, 5K onward, usually requires one of 3 things. A commercial space, because you can't run 6 printers in a residential garage without HVAC and a sprinkler conversion. Yeah, there's 5 printers in this room. So hey, it's not 6. It's not 6. I don't have to worry about that. It wasn't. 5 is less than 6. Sprinkler conversion. An employee or contractor, because you stop having time to do customer operations plus production plus design, or a productized SKU that sells repeatable units at scale. The Kickstarter to Shopify path. The operation replied. The operation that somebody replied to. The full-time off-prints people in this thread are mostly here. So this is full time. I don't know where you live, but 5K a month revenue, you're probably doing pretty good. You're doing better than the average Joe. The dropout pattern from peer notes, most people who say I have a print business are sitting at $200 to $500 per month somewhere in stage 1 and not moving. The block is not the equipment. It is that hobby scale consumer sales do not have a clean path to salary replacement, no matter how many printers you add. And the business to business pivot requires sales skills most makers do not naturally have. So we need sales skills. That's what we need to work on. We need to work on sales skills. And I'm going to throw in, because I haven't really been talking about modeling, I'm going to say I need sales skills and I need modeling. If I'm going to make my dream here work. Somebody replied, pin the move that actually works. 15 P1S printers running business to business work, not consumer Etsy work. That is the version of full-time off prints that holds. Worth noting, it took him 4 years of nights, weekends before quitting his day job, and another 2 years to get a commercial space with 1 employee. The realistic timeline is 4 to 7 years from first printer to first salary replacement year, not 12 months. Run a 6-month real P&L. I'm dumb. I don't know what P&L means. P&L before quitting anything. The number nobody wants to look at is hourly rate. They are paying themselves over the first 3 years, which is usually $4 to $9 an hour, including unpaid time. Starting a business, but you're not going to be really paying yourself. I'm saying this from research. Obviously, we know, not from experience. But this is, I think, a very good comment. And it kind of just helped give focus to what I need to do to get this goal. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, that you got value out of this. If you didn't, drop a comment. Drop a comment. Let me know. If you think my handwriting is funny, drop a comment. Let me know. And I'll see you guys in the next one.